it is time for a co-main event of the evening. Cage Warriors 113 coming at us from Manchester, not London, because Graham Boylan's doing everybody a favor and keeping fights going in England. Hey, Dana, it can be done. And in this fight, we have Mason Jones taking on Joe McColgan. Matt, this is a fun fight because Mason Jones is one of those guys, yes, he's undefeated, and yes, he trains at one of the best gyms in the world, but just stand alone, his skill set is something to behold. His boxing is very crisp, and we'll get into that. But he has a judo and wrestling base as well to draw from. And he's taking on a short notice opponent in Joe McColgan. This is a guy that, again, trains with some of the best in the world. Some of his training partners also on this card. We talked about it, Decky Dalton, who's taking on Paddy Pimblett. But Matt, this is a really good clash of styles. Originally, again, Mason Jones was supposed to be taking on Danilo Belluardo. You might recognize him from his time in the UFC. Actually surprised that this isn't our main event, where it is a title fight. And also interesting to note that at the weigh-ins, Jones weighed in at 151.9, whereas Joe McColgan weighed in at 153.2. Now, Matt, I've kind of set the stage here. I also want to point out that McColgan, in his second pro fight, so again, he was 1-0. He took on 8-2 Peter Queally that everybody's really high on. And I think that's probably why McColgan has the nickname of the SBG Hunter. He won a decision against Peter Queally back then. He's also faced other top names like Jai Herbert, who's now in the UFC, former champ. Didn't go his way, lost by first round finish. But Matt, this is a fun fight. And I said from the jump, Mason Jones, wow, his striking's very good. Trains at Team Alpha Male. What does it mean to train at a world-class gym like that?
Well, not only that, but just Mason Jones, he brought up his background in judo and wrestling. When you have a background like his, Mason Jones reminds me of a very tiny Chuck Liddell, because he doesn't use his wrestling in the traditional sense to go and just take people down double-legged and beat them up on the ground. He very much uses his wrestling just to keep the fight standing, and his boxing, like you said, his footwork, he can switch stances, really good at power, but he can play the volume game too. He doesn't have to go out there and just pot shot, look for the big shot. He'll go to the body, he'll go to the head, he'll throw his combination together. And training at Team Alpha Male, you're getting better every single day at the two things he's already really good at, wrestling and boxing, because that's what those guys pump out. They're basically a factory for the lighter weight classes with that skill set. So Mason Jones not only training with one of the best gyms for his weight class, but just having a massive edge in a lot of the skills. I don't see how he doesn't win this fight, being such a big favorite.
I mean, day in, day out, training with some of the top guys, like you said, in the lighter weight classes, the damage, Darren Elkins. And in terms of the odds, like you said, I mean, Jones coming in a minus 415 aggregate favorite over on Best Fight Odds. You've got McColgan sitting at a plus 310. If you look over on Tapology, not a whole lot there because, again, we're supposed to get Mason Jones and Danilo Belluardo. But this is a really good fight and a very interesting fight, too. You've got the undefeated Jones taking on McColgan, the SBG Hunter, not totally facing an SBG guy right now. But, again, it is a really good fight. Should more or less be a main event. But 100%. We do have a couple of UFC guys in that main event with Darren Stewart and Bartosz Fabinski. So you're not going to want to miss that prediction and the rest of the main card in that featured prelim here with Fight Night Picks. We always like to say, Matt, let's get into it.